The scariest thing about you is this: people watch you even when they pretend they don't. Chosen one, that line is the first slap they deserve, because it cuts straight into the truth of your reality and the title of this entire message: all eyes really are on you. Someone is watching you right now, and it's the last person you'd expect. And before you think I'm exaggerating, look at the pattern. The universe has a strange way of exposing the silent observers around powerful people. It's like when a flame burns strong in the dark. Moths pretend they don't care, but they always show up anyway. That's you. You burn without even trying, and every insecure soul around you keeps getting drawn to your light, even if they claim they aren't looking. That's the metaphor they never saw coming. Here's a fact that hits even harder. People study what they fear losing, not what they actually value. And whether they admit it or not, you make certain people nervous. You make them question their place. You make them compare every step they take. And even when you're doing nothing, they take notes. The universe doesn't highlight random people for no reason, and you've been glowing like a spotlight pointed at the truth. The truth is that someone close has been watching you in ways they swore they never would. They've sent around your words, your posts, your pictures, your smallest reactions. They replay moments you forgot about, but they couldn't let go of. And the reactions they got from others would shake anyone with a weak heart. Chosen one, thank you for even being here. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls, because it's all our responsibility to keep spreading the light. And thank you for being part of this mission. You are part of a force, whether you feel it or not. Now, let's get back to the main truth. You've been walking through life thinking people weren't paying attention, that you were just minding your business, that nobody noticed the way you've changed, grown, pulled away, healed, or leveled up. But the reality is the opposite. The universe isn't quiet about people like you. You carry a presence that stirs something in others. You walk into a room and the energy shifts before you even speak. You move on from someone and they feel it like a cold wind hitting their chest. You upgrade your mindset and suddenly people who claim to be unbothered start checking for you again. You may not see their eyes, but you feel them. You feel the strange pressure, the random wave of attention, the sudden shift in how people treat you. It's because you've reached a point where observers can't hide anymore. When someone's curiosity turns into deep interest, when their interest turns into obsession, the universe has a way of letting you sense it. That's what's happening to you. Someone is watching. Someone you wouldn't expect. Someone who once underestimated you, or doubted you, or acted like you were replaceable. Now they're the one glued to your life, like it's a series they can't stop binge-watching. And here's another fact that hits harder than it should. You don't have to post much. You don't have to talk much. You don't have to show off. Your existence is content. Your silence makes noise. Your presence triggers reactions. Your growth forces people to face their own flaws. Some admire it. Some envy it. Some can't understand it. But they all feel it. Every single one of them. There is someone who has been showing your name, your pictures, your messages, your vibe to others. They want opinions. They want validation. They want someone else to tell them what they already know about you, but are too afraid to face. And what those people said back, that's what shook them. Deep down, they expected others to say something negative about you. Instead, they heard the opposite. They heard things that confirmed your value, your glow, your potential, your energy, and it hit them like a punch to the chest. It's that moment when a person realizes they didn't just lose someone, They lost someone unforgettable. This is why the watcher is shocked. Not because of something you did loud, but because of what you became quietly. You outgrew who they thought you were. You grew into someone they can't understand anymore. And the universe has highlighted you so strongly that even the people around them can see it. Chosen one, the truth is simple. You are being studied. Not casually, not lightly, not in passing. There is someone who watches your life the way people watch a window during a storm, trying to understand the power outside without opening the door. Someone wants to know how you keep rising, how you stay calm, how you walk away, how you rebuild, how you attract, how you shine without asking for attention. They thought they knew you, but now they're realizing they never understood your depth at all. You carry a story that people can feel even if they don't hear it. You carry a strength that exposes the weakness in others. You carry a peace that makes anxious people restless. You carry a soul that reminds others of what they lost, what they wasted, and what they will never get back in the same form again. That's why they watch you. That's why the universe keeps pulling their eyes toward your life. You are not background. You are the scene. You are not the extra. You are the plot twist. So listen closely. The one who's watching you now isn't watching out of love or hate. They're watching because they can't figure you out anymore. You became unpredictable, unreachable, unbothered. That's a threat to anyone who once had access to your mind. They're trying to understand how you turned into the version of yourself they were never prepared to deal with. What is being revealed to you now isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to confirm what your intuition has been whispering for weeks. Someone has been studying your light, your moves, your changes, and the universe is letting you know it's not random. It's not in your head. Their eyes are real. Their curiosity is real. Their shock is real. All eyes are on you, chosen one, but one pair in particular. That's the one that's about to reveal a truth you never saw coming. Chosen one, thanks for sticking with me this far. Before we go any deeper, this is your moment to anchor yourself into this message. Drop a comment with 777 if you're ready to face the truth about the eyes on you. And if you're ready to see who's been watching you in silence. And if you can, bless the team behind this message with a super thanks, because bringing this level of truth to the surface takes real effort. Every bit of support, whether tiny or huge, keeps this mission alive. You're part of that force now, chosen one. Now lock in, take a breath, and stay with me, because what comes next will make everything finally click. And now, let's step into it, piece by piece. If you're truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay till the very last word. Let's get started. Number 1, the silence isn't empty, it's loaded. Anyone who pretends not to care about you is usually the one studying you the most. Chosen one. This is where it gets messy for your enemies, because this part isn't about you feeling pressure. It's about them cracking under the weight of everything they tried to hide. They're the ones sweating. They're the ones pacing. They're the ones replaying every moment like a guilty person rehearsing their alibi. And the wild thing? They thought you wouldn't notice. They thought their silence was enough to keep their truth buried. They forgot who they were dealing with. You want to know what's really happening? The pressure building right now isn't some random feeling floating in the air. It's coming from them. Your existence forces people to look at themselves, and most can't handle the reflection. That's why the atmosphere feels so heavy around certain people. It's not your imagination, it's their reaction, it's their fear leaking through the cracks. And you've felt it, haven't you? That weird tension when their name pops into your head for no reason. That sudden shift in a room when you walk in. That strange silence when you speak and they pretend not to hear you, even though their attention is locked on you the whole time. Chosen one, here's the truth they didn't want you to figure out. You are not the one under pressure. You are the one causing it. Think about it. Why do they keep checking up on you? Why do they stalk your page from fake accounts? Why do they repeat your words to others like they're trying to decode you? It's because they know something about you that even you haven't fully accepted yet. Your impact, your presence, your evolution. They see it, they feel it, they choke on it. And I know what you're wondering right now, but why me? Why all this attention? Why this strange pressure everywhere I go? Because you're not normal. You don't move like the rest. You don't break like the rest. You don't shrink when things get hard. In a world full of echo chambers, you're the one original sound. You're the one signal that messes up their noise. Some people can't stand that level of authenticity, so they pretend you don't matter while obsessing over you behind closed doors. Here's another punch of truth. People don't study what they don't fear losing. Your name has been in rooms you've never walked into. Your face has been shown to people who never met you. Your messages, your posts, even your silence has been shown to someone for analysis. They compare themselves to you. They measure their progress against you. They try to copy your timing, your energy, your choices, yet they still fall short. And every time they fail to catch up, the pressure inside them grows. There's a metaphor you won't forget. Imagine a sealed soda can being shaken over and over. That's them. Every time you level up, shake. Every time you heal, shake. Every time you detach from their nonsense, shake. Every time you shine without asking for permission, shake. Now the can is swollen, ticking, ready to explode, and they're terrified you'll be the one who hears the pop. This pressure they feel has turned into a silent panic. They're trying to act casual, but their spirit is screaming. They're hiding it behind forced smiles and clipped sentences. They think their mask is convincing, but chosen one. Your intuition has already ripped it off. You sensed this shift before you saw the signs. Your chest got heavy around certain people. Your mood dropped for no reason when they were near. Conversations felt scripted. Eye contact avoided. Compliments sounded rehearsed. These weren't coincidences. These were clues. Your intuition was tapping your shoulder saying, they know something. They're hiding something. Pay attention. And the wildest part, what they know isn't some secret about you being weak. It's the opposite. They've seen a version of you that you haven't fully stepped into yet. They've seen your glow growing. They've felt your presence expanding. They've watched you detach from chaos. They've seen you rise mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and it scared them. They're watching your evolution the way people watch a storm rolling in, pretending it's nothing but checking the window every 10 seconds. Behind their closed doors, your image hasn't just been seen, it's been dissected. They zoom in, zoom out, replay, overthink. They screenshot your face and try to read your expression like it's a map leading to the truth. They ask other people what they think of you, secretly hoping someone will confirm their doubts. And when those people respond with admiration, interest, or respect, silence falls heavy, uncomfortable, exposing silence. The kind that suffocates the insecure. That silence is the curtain dropping. It's the moment they realize they were wrong about you, and they were wrong about themselves. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they had time. They thought you were just another person passing through their life. Now they're seeing the threat. The pressure they feel is the universe showing them what they lost, what they mishandled, and what they'll never fully understand. Chosen one. The pressure building right now isn't yours to carry. It's theirs. And it's only the beginning. Number 2. The 3 voices that betrayed their true feelings. People slip up the moment they talk about you. Their words reveal what their masks tried to hide. Chosen one, this is where things get uncomfortable for the people who thought they could keep you in the dark, because the truth didn't come to you through some grand announcement. It came through something way smaller, way quieter, way more unguarded. Their reactions. You weren't forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were brought up because you couldn't be ignored. And when your image or your name landed in their hands, 3 very different voices rose up. They weren't rehearsed. They weren't planned. They were instinct. And instinct doesn't lie. The first voice said, "They're rare, almost unreachable." That wasn't admiration. That was someone realizing you're not cut from the same cloth as the people around them. That was them understanding that your energy doesn't sit on the shelf next to others. It sits on the top tier where only a few people ever get access. That's the kind of comment people make when they notice you're not easy to copy or replace. Deep down, they knew you were operating on a level that made them feel small without you even trying. The second voice cut deeper. "They intimidate me. There's something too powerful about them." And chosen one, that voice wasn't joking. That was fear. That was ego cracking. That was their insecurities exposing themselves, like a broken bone pushing through the skin. When someone says you intimidate them without you raising a finger, that's not about your actions. That's about your presence, your silence, your energy, your growth. You became something they could not measure, and nothing scares a fragile person more than something they can't measure. But it was the third voice that changed everything. It didn't speak from fear or envy. It spoke from shock, from revelation. There's something different about them. I can't explain it, but I feel it. That was the moment the room shifted. That was the moment everyone else fell silent. Because it wasn't an opinion, it was an admission, a confession, a moment of truth nobody expected. They felt your impact even from a distance, even from a picture, even from a memory. That's when they realized they weren't dealing with a regular person. They were dealing with someone the universe seemed to highlight without permission. Here's a quote they'll never admit out loud. "The ones who pretend not to notice you are often the ones talking about you the most." And chosen one, this is where things twist. The person who placed your image in front of those voices wasn't a stranger. It wasn't some outsider observing from a distance. It was someone you trusted, someone you let close. Someone who once had access to the old version of you, the softer version, the forgiving version, the version that didn't see the knives behind certain smiles. Imagine this for a moment. Someone holds a picture of you in their phone, hands shaking just a bit, and they pass it around to people whose faces you've never seen. They wait for reactions the way guilty people wait for verdicts. That's what happened. The one who shared your image wasn't seeking reassurance. They were seeking answers. They wanted to know how others saw you because deep down they already sensed your value and were terrified you'd figure it out too. Now imagine this, a group sitting in a room and your picture shows up on the screen like a sudden plot twist. One person leans back, stunned. Another sits forward, analyzing. The third one pauses, staring longer than they should. The air changes, the energy thickens, and the one who shared your image pretends they're unaffected, even though they're watching every reaction, every eyebrow raise, every breath shift, trying to decode what your existence means for them. And here's another metaphor you won't forget. Picture your name being dropped in a conversation like a pebble tossed into water. Except instead of ripples, it causes mini quakes. That's how strong your energy is. Even strangers feel it. Even people who've never stood in front of you feel something shift when your name enters the room. You're probably wondering, but why would someone I trusted share my life with others like that? Why talk about me? Why show my picture? Why bring me up at all? Because, chosen one, they were trying to understand you, trying to calculate you, trying to decode someone who isn't meant to be decoded. You changed, you grew, you shifted, you outgrew whatever version of you they thought they had figured out. And the moment they sensed they were losing control, they went searching for feedback from others. This wasn't curiosity. This was insecurity disguised as conversation. They needed validation because your evolution exposed every lie they told themselves. Here's another gut check quote. People don't ask about you unless something about you has shaken their world. What they shared wasn't light-hearted, it wasn't casual, it wasn't harmless, it had weight, it had intention. They didn't just share your image, they shared their confusion, their regret, their jealousy, their disbelief. When they handed someone your picture, they weren't just saying, "Look at them." They were really saying, "Why do they feel bigger than me? Why can't I get them out of my head? What is this pull I feel? Why do I want their attention again?" Chosen one, that third voice, the one that felt something they couldn't explain, that's the one haunting them, because that voice said something they couldn't argue with. That voice validated everything they were afraid was true, that you're rare, powerful, magnetic, unmatched, unforgettable. And now their role is shifting. The mask they wore, friendly, casual, supportive, was never real. It was pretense held together by your past version. But now, with your growth, with your evolution, with the new energy you carry, that mask can't stay on. Cracks are forming. Truth is leaking out. That trusted person is about to be exposed, not because you're seeking revenge, but because the universe is done letting them hide. Their intentions weren't innocent, their curiosity wasn't harmless, their conversations weren't neutral. They wanted answers about you because they didn't feel worthy of standing next to you anymore. And think about this for a moment. What kind of person gathers opinions about you behind your back? What kind of person carries your image around seeking reactions? What kind of person talks about you with that kind of intensity? Not someone who's over you, not someone who's moved on, not someone who's unaffected. Someone who is haunted, someone who is confused, someone who is intimidated and fascinated at the same time. Here's the final metaphor to seal this truth. Imagine 3 mirrors in a room. Each mirror reflects a different version of the truth. But the person holding your image doesn't like any reflection because every one of them shows them what they are not, what they lacked, what they mishandled, what they underestimated. That's why they shared your image, not to talk about you, but to understand why losing you feels like losing something they can't replace. Their true role is about to be revealed, not friend, not supporter, not loyal companion, but the one who carried your story into rooms you were never invited into, hoping someone could explain the power you carry. Chosen one, prepare yourself, because what comes next will shift everything you thought you understood about loyalty, connection, and the people who claimed to care. Their voices told the truth, their reactions exposed their hearts, and their silence after, that's the part that should make you pay attention. Number 3. Their smiles are cracking, and they can't stop it. People don't wear masks to fool you. They wear masks because you already scare them without trying. Chosen one, this is where the masks start slipping like cheap tape in a storm. Their reactions, the envy they tried to hide, the desire they pretended wasn't there, the fear they hoped you wouldn't notice. None of it was ever about your actions. It was always about your presence. You walk in with an energy that exposes whatever people don't want to face. You don't have to speak. Your existence is a mirror, and insecure souls hate mirrors. Imagine someone holding a balloon underwater. The pressure builds, their arms shake, veins stretch, and they swear they've got it handled. But eventually, that balloon shoots straight up, loud enough to expose everything. That's them. That's their mask. They've been holding it down for too long, trying to look unbothered while every cell in their body is reacting to you. They're reaching their limit, and the mask is slipping whether they want it to or not. Here's the part they hoped you'd never realize. Your presence forces hidden truths to surface. You don't let people stay neutral. You don't leave people comfortable. You make them feel something. Admiration that scares them, jealousy they can't swallow, curiosity they can't explain. Even the ones who swore they were done with you keep looking, keep checking, keep reacting. They watch you rise and they panic because your glow makes their excuses look small. And chosen one, you've probably been asking yourself, why now? Why is everyone acting so weird around me? Why does the energy shift the second I walk in? Because you've changed. Your aura got sharper. Your boundaries got stronger. Your silence got heavier. You became someone they can't handle but can't ignore. Their masks were designed for the old version of you. This new version, it exposes every crack in their facade. Another metaphor for you. Picture a room full of people wearing sunglasses indoors. As long as the light is dim, they're fine. But when someone turns on a bright spotlight, those glasses become useless. That spotlight is you. You turned up your intensity, and now everyone who thought they could hide their motives is scrambling. Chosen one. One of them is about to break. Not because they want to, but because pressure always finds the weakest point. Their confession, whether through a slip, a message, a look, or a comment, will finally explain the tension you've been feeling. It's not paranoia. It's exposure. It's truth crawling out of the shadows because your presence dragged it there. Their mask isn't unraveling by accident. It's unraveling because you stepped into a version of yourself that can't be lied to anymore. Number 4. The quiet around you isn't peace. It's pressure loading. Before a storm hits, the air always goes silent. That silence isn't calm. It's a warning. Chosen one, this moment you're standing in isn't fear, it's revelation. Everything hidden, whispered, analyzed, and exchanged behind your back is shifting toward the surface, not to break you, not to shake you, but to confirm what your intuition has been screaming all along. You were never alone in the dark. You were being watched, measured, and studied by people who thought you'd never find out. The stillness around you hasn't been empty. It's been charged, heavy, suspiciously quiet. The kind of quiet that makes the hairs on your arms stand up because you can feel eyes on you even when you're not looking. That's not imagination. That's the weather changing around your life. The universe has been gathering every whisper, every glance, every unspoken reaction, pulling them together like clouds, stacking before lightning cracks the sky. Imagine this. You're standing in an open field, and the sky above is soft, calm, almost pretty, but the wind is shifting. The temperature drops. Birds go silent. That's the moment before everything changes. That's where you are now. The energy around you isn't random, it's preparation. Something is building, someone is slipping, and the truth is forming faster than they can hide it. You're probably thinking, why is everyone acting strange? Why do I feel watched? Why does the air feel different? Because the eyes that used to stare quietly are no longer passive. They're calculating, tracking you, watching your every move like someone studying a pattern they can't crack. They act normal in front of you, but behind the scenes. They're circling your steps the way shadows circle a light they can't dim. Here's the punch. People don't circle what they don't fear losing. This isn't an ordinary season for you. It's the unraveling, the moment where every unseen intention starts tripping over itself. The quiet people, the silent watchers, the ones who pretended they didn't care. Their energy is slipping. Their masks are glitching. Their secrets are trembling. The storm isn't against you. The storm is revealing everything that's been moving against you. Chosen one, brace yourself. Not for damage, for clarity. Number 5. They didn't just watch you. They analyzed you like a code they couldn't crack. Curiosity becomes obsession the moment someone realizes you shine where they struggle. Chosen one, the tension pressing on your chest isn't paranoia. It's the weight of truth sitting behind a door that's about to swing open. The air around you feels heavy because revelation is pushing through, squeezing itself into the present moment. And the reason is simple. People didn't just notice you, they studied you. They examined your light like scientists studying a rare phenomenon they can't recreate. Imagine someone staring at a map, tracing lines they don't understand, hoping it leads them to the source. That's what they did with you. Your presence left questions they couldn't answer, feelings they couldn't hide, reactions they couldn't control. You triggered them without trying. You awakened something in them they didn't have the language for, and instead of facing themselves, they turned you into a puzzle. Here's another truth they'd never confess. People only study what threatens their comfort. Every time your name came up, the room shifted. Every time your image appeared, silence stretched too long. Your energy didn't ask for attention. It dragged it out of them anyway. They couldn't explain why you affected them the way you did. So they did what insecure people always do. They analyzed you behind closed doors. And chosen one of them, someone whose name you already know too well, carried your image like a passkey. They flashed it in secret rooms, placing you in front of people who had never met you, waiting to see their reactions. Why? Because your presence unsettled something in them. Because your glow exposed something in them. Because deep down, they needed to know whether others saw what they saw. Imagine this. Someone holding a photo of you between their fingers, studying it like it holds answers to questions they're afraid to ask out loud. Another person leans in, eyes widening. Another goes quiet, unsure how to describe the pull they feel. And the one who showed your picture. Their heart drops, because now they know it's not just them. You really do have that effect. Chosen one, this wasn't harmless curiosity. This was confirmation. You were never background, you were the subject, and they've been studying your light like it's the only thing that makes sense in their confusion. Number 6. Their reactions expose them faster than their words ever could. People tell the truth the moment your name enters the room. Their mouths lie, their reactions don't. Chosen one, when your image hit their eyes, what came out of them wasn't casual interest. It was instinct, raw, unfiltered, the kind of reactions people can't rehearse or hide. And just like before, 3 voices rose, but this time they slipped even harder. The first voice cracked open with awe. This one, there's something unforgettable about them. That's not a compliment. That's admission. That's someone realizing you're the kind of presence that sticks to a person's memory like permanent ink. They tried to treat you like a moment, but you became a mark. The second voice? Sharp, shaky, dripping with envy. They intimidate me. I don't know why, but they do. That right there is fear pretending to be honesty. They weren't intimidated by what you did. They were intimidated by what you are. Your energy walked into the room before your face did. Your growth pressed against their insecurities until something snapped and the truth slipped out. But the third voice, that one hit different. Quiet, slow, heavy. There's something more here. I can't explain it, but I feel it. That wasn't admiration. That was revelation. That was someone sensing the weight of your presence and realizing you're not a regular character in their story. You're the plot twist the universe placed in front of them. Here's the part most people overlook. Reactions reveal what intentions try to hide. They weren't giving opinions, they were exposing themselves. Your presence didn't just get seen, it stirred something. It made people uncomfortable, amazed, jealous, curious, restless all at once. You spoke without saying a word, and they heard it anyway. Imagine this. Your picture lands on a table. One person leans in, another looks away too fast. Another freezes like a deer caught in headlights. No one knows how to explain it, but everyone feels it. That's your effect. That's your pull. That's the silent pressure you carry just by existing. And chosen one, you might be wondering, why do people react to me like this? Why do I shake them without trying? Because you shine in places they haven't even learned to stand yet. Because your growth exposes their stagnation, because your energy forces people to face parts of themselves they'd rather keep buried. You don't fit into the boxes they built. You don't play the roles they assigned. Your presence interrupts the script. Their reactions weren't random, they were proof. Proof that your light hits deeper than you realize. Proof that the watchers aren't just watching, they're trembling. Proof that you're carrying something real, something rare, something they can feel even in your silence. Chosen one, the darkness around them isn't swallowing your light. Your light is swallowing them. Number 7. They keep staring because you're a wake-up call they weren't ready for. Real power isn't seen in what you show. It's seen in what people feel when you enter a room. Chosen one, this part hits deeper than anything before it. They still don't get it. They think your pull comes from charm, looks, confidence, or personality. They keep searching for some surface-level explanation because accepting the real reason terrifies them. Your light comes from purpose, and purpose can't be mimicked, copied, or stolen. It's the one thing insecure people can't compete with. Your calling is the kind of force that exposes whatever others try to hide. It shines a flashlight into their shadows. It shows them the potential they wasted, the strength they never built, the courage they avoided, and the versions of themselves they abandoned. That's why they flinch around you. That's why their reactions glitch. That's why they can't stay neutral. Your presence won't let them. Here's a truth they'd never admit. Calling makes people uncomfortable long before it inspires them. Imagine someone standing in front of a mirror they didn't ask for. That's what encountering you feels like. You walk in and suddenly they're face to face with every insecurity they tried to bury. Your progress reminds them of their stagnation. Your clarity reminds them of their confusion. Your strength reminds them of the weakness they pretend isn't there. Chosen one, the one who started this chain reaction, the one who showed your image, brought up your name, stirred these conversations. They had no idea what they were unlocking. They thought it would be simple, a casual mention, a harmless moment. But calling doesn't stay small. Purpose doesn't stay quiet. Your energy doesn't fit inside the tiny box they tried to keep you in. Imagine lighting a single match in a dark room. They expected a flicker. Instead, the entire place lit up, exposing things they weren't prepared to see. That's what your presence did. It revealed them. It overwhelmed them. It changed the temperature of the room. Here's another gut punch. Purpose makes noise even when you stay silent. The one who never meant for it to go this far miscalculated. They underestimated the weight you carry. They underestimated how powerful your influence is. They underestimated the way people react to you. But the universe didn't. Your calling was always bigger than their intentions, and now everyone in that circle feels it. Number 8. The truth isn't slipping out. It's breaking the door down. People don't confess because they grow honest. They confess because the pressure of hiding you becomes unbearable. Chosen one, this is the moment everything starts surfacing, not just the secrets, but the intentions behind them, the masks, the excuses, the fake calm, the forced distance. All of it starts collapsing under the weight of what they've been carrying about you. Confession doesn't show up gently. It erupts. It tears through the version of them they tried to perform. And when it hits, it won't just inform you, it'll redefine everything you thought you understood about them. This is the awakening. The moment where the story they built can't survive your truth anymore. You might be asking yourself, why would someone who's not my enemy and not my friend watch me so closely? Because obsession doesn't require loyalty, and fascination doesn't require love. It only requires impact, and you have impact without trying. This person wasn't against you, but they weren't with you either. They lived in that gray area, the space where people admire you from a distance, but fear standing close. They carried too many contradictions in their chest. Jealousy sitting next to curiosity, desire sitting next to insecurity, fear sitting next to fascination. You were the contradiction they couldn't resolve. Imagine this, someone standing in a doorway, unsure whether to walk in or walk away. That's been them the whole time. They watched you evolve, watched you rise, watched you glow, and every part of that made them feel both drawn in and pushed back. They knew your calling before you did. That's why their gaze lingered too long, why their reactions were too intense, why their silence felt too loud. Here's the punch. People fear what exposes their truth. You became a mirror they didn't ask for, and every time they looked at you, they saw a version of themselves they couldn't maintain. That's why they hesitated. That's why they kept their distance. That's why they talked about you instead of to you. And when confession arrives, and it won't come from anger. It will come from clarity, from the realization that they can't keep pretending their truth will slip out through trembling sentences, nervous looks, or accidental honesty. Something in them will break, but not in a cruel way, in a revealing way. The bond you thought existed will shatter, not because of betrayal, but because the truth finally outgrew the illusion. Chosen one, the person who watched you the closest, was never simple. Admiration pulled them in. Fear pushed them back. Your calling overwhelmed them. And now, confession is the only thing left standing. Number 9. The reveal will hit harder than the watching ever did. People can fake emotions, fake loyalty, fake distance, but they can't fake the pull they feel toward you. Chosen one, this was never simple observation. This wasn't someone casually noticing you, glancing your way, or being mildly curious. This was recognition, a deep, undeniable awareness that your life carries a weight they couldn't understand or escape. It wasn't magic. It wasn't destiny in a storybook sense. It was energetic gravity. You pulled something out of them they didn't know was there, and that gravity told the truth long before their words ever will. You weren't just watched. You were measured, evaluated, weighed like a rare force they couldn't categorize. Imagine someone holding an object they don't have a name for. They turn it over. They examine it. They feel an intensity they can't explain. That's how they held you in their mind. You didn't fit their expectations, and you didn't fit their past experiences. You broke their mental patterns simply by existing, and that triggered something powerful inside them. And chosen one, their reaction wasn't random. When someone can't understand you, they start studying you. The truth that's about to come out, the thing they've been holding back, will shift you. It will reframe every strange moment, every weird silence, every flicker of energy you felt but couldn't explain. You know those times your chest felt heavy around them, those moments you sensed something unspoken in their eyes, the confusion you felt without evidence. All of that was real. Their truth is the missing piece. Here's the twist you didn't expect. The eyes watching you the closest belonged to the face you trusted the most. Not an enemy, not a stranger. Someone you let close without realizing how deeply they were observing you. Imagine someone wearing a mask made of familiarity, smiling like everything's normal while their thoughts run miles ahead. They weren't who you assumed. Their intentions weren't what you believed. They've been carrying their truth like a secret weight, and it's finally reaching the point where it can't be hidden. When they speak, when they finally release what's been building, everything will click. The unexplained tension, the strange pull, the shifting atmosphere whenever they were near, it all ties together in their confession. Chosen one, the unveiling isn't coming to scare you. It's coming to free you from every illusion you didn't know you were trapped inside. Number 10. The truth you felt is about to walk into the open. People don't obsess over ordinary. They obsess over whatever exposes the limits of their own potential. Chosen one, strip away every illusion. They were never the point. The real story has always been what you carry, the weight inside you that refuses to dim, shrink, or fit into anyone's comfort zone. Your fire isn't charm. It's not looks. It's not personality. It's force. It's pressure. It's the kind of energy that bends rooms and makes people rethink themselves with one glance. And now the silence around you is snapping, cracking, breaking open like a shell too tight to contain the truth any longer. Everything that moved in shadows, every stare, every whisper, every shift in a room when you walked in, none of it was your imagination. The air was heavy because eyes were on you, not soft eyes, not curious eyes, eyes that were measuring you, trying to understand a presence they couldn't imitate or replicate, eyes trying to decode a signal they weren't built to read. And here's the punch. Your energy didn't walk into the room, it took over the room. Among the watchers was someone you trusted, someone whose voice once felt safe, whose presence felt familiar. But behind that comfort was a secret they kept close to their chest. They carried your image on their phone, in their mind, in their conversations, into places you were never meant to enter. They weren't mocking you. They weren't hating you. They were testing reactions, searching for confirmation about the very thing they sensed but were too afraid to admit. You glow in a way they can't touch. Imagine them holding your picture up like a lit match in a dark room. People lean in, some blink hard, some whisper, some freeze. And in that moment, 3 voices rise from instinct alone. One in awe, they're unforgettable. One dripping envy, they shine too brightly. One dead serious, they're not like us. Something about them stands apart. These weren't compliments, they were confessions, honest reactions from people who felt the impact of your presence without you even being there. Chosen one, forget the spiritual labels, forget the prophecy-style framing. This wasn't destiny in a mystical sense. This was energy clarity. You disrupt people, you shake them, you wake them up, you expose the gaps they hide. That's why they watched, that's why they whispered, that's why they shared your image like a mystery they couldn't solve. Now, the final revelation is simple. You were never imagining the weight around you. You were never misreading the atmosphere. You were never overthinking. Your truth was too loud for them to hide, and now it's stepping into the light. Number 11. The truth hit them harder than anything they ever said out loud. Some people don't break their silence because they want to. They break it because the truth inside them refuses to stay caged. Chosen one, here's the real punch. What shook the one who started all of this wasn't the reactions they heard. It was the reactions they felt. When those words about you hit the table, something inside them snapped. Their silence wasn't calm. It wasn't neutral. It was panic, awe, confusion, and desire all crashing together in real time. They suddenly realized they had stepped into territory way bigger than gossip or curiosity. You stopped being someone they know. You became the person who pulls threads in their spirit they didn't even know existed. Your presence didn't just affect them, it rearranged them. And let's be honest, what they carried wasn't hate. Hate is simple. Hate is loud. Hate is easy. What they carried was the kind of storm that keeps people awake at night. It was admiration they couldn't justify, fear of how deeply you stirred something in them, and a longing so heavy they couldn't hold it without breaking a little. They didn't watch you to judge you. They watched you because something in you kept pulling them back, the way gravity pulls planets. Your strength, your resilience, your glow, the way you move through life without folding. Every piece of you challenged them and inspired them at the same time. You forced them to feel things they spent years avoiding. Imagine them staring at your picture, trying to breathe normally, while the universe in their chest refuses to calm down, trying to convince themselves it's nothing, while every part of them knows it's everything. And now, the final veil is sliding off. The one who watched the closest is reaching their breaking point. Not out of weakness, but because hiding their truth has become impossible. What they're about to say won't be small. It won't be casual. It won't be something you shrug off. Their confession is going to reframe the entire story. Every weird tension, every shift in the air, every moment their eyes lingered longer than they should have. The love they buried, the awe they disguised, the devotion they swallowed to keep things normal. All of it is rising now because the universe doesn't let truth stay underground forever. Chosen one, what's coming next won't just surprise you. It will make everything finally make sense. You made it to the end, chosen one, and that alone says everything about the strength you carry. What's unfolding around you isn't random, it's recognition. Every silent stare, every strange shift in energy, every word spoken in rooms you've never entered is proof that your presence leaves a mark nothing can erase. If this message hit you where you needed it, press the like button if you haven't already, and if you're still not part of this family, make sure to subscribe. Stay close. Your story is just getting started, and the next chapter is about to expose even more truth.